If you're in the city of St. John's and you're excited for the Santa Claus parade and really disappointed because it was canceled, I feel you. I mean, you have a bunch of things coming up over the next couple of weeks leading into Christmas to really get you into the spirit. By the time this video comes out, the Mount Pearl parade will likely have already happened unless weather or something postpones that. And then the rescheduled downtown St. John's parade is set for Sunday, this coming Sunday, which by the time you see this video is either going to be tomorrow or in the past. I'll always have a very, very warm place in my heart for the lights at Bowering Park. Speaking of Bowering Park, the Mummers Parade, part of the big Mummers Festival that goes on around Christmas, that's been taking place in Bowering Park for the last couple of years, so I imagine that's going to happen there again this year. And of course, if you're in Bowering Park, you can bring your toboggan or your GT snow racer, those things still exist, and go sliding down the hill. That's not a Christmas thing, that's just a winter thing, but Christmas is a great time to start doing it if there is actually snow on the ground, like there is some years. But I really wanted to talk today about getting out of the city and heading about an hour or so away for 3 things that are definitely worth the effort. They're not exactly secrets, but they're not super high profile either. They're a little bit outside the St. John's area, so for anybody in St. John's, Mount Pearl, Paradise, CBS, I would recommend getting in your car and driving for the 45 minutes to an hour and a bit, depending on where exactly you're located. They're all really close to each other. They're all in sort of the Conception-based Central area. So you could turn this little, short road trip from the city to this particular area into like a triple threat package to really get your Christmas season kick-started. I'm going to start off with Brigus, the town of Brigus. It's a town that, any time of year is definitely a place that you should, if you're just bored and you're looking for a destination for a quick road trip, go to Brigus and just sort of explore. It's a beautiful town, a lot of history, and there's a lot of things there to kind of grab your attention. You may hear some of the radio jingles for the rides over. It's a great place to go for a snack or a meal or drink and just sort of like take a load off if you are kind of hiking around a little bit. Brigus doesn't have to be like a Christmas getaway, but it's almost like the type of town that the Hallmark movies look for a destination for, like when people are returning home from the big city, they go back to a place like Brigus. And the reason for that is because it's a small town, but it's a beautiful, beautiful town. And when you get a little dusting of snow, it really looks like a Hallmark movie set. But it's not, it's an actual town where people live and work. There's a little short jump from St. John's to Brigus, and whether it's summer, spring, fall, Christmas, winter, you should make a point to get out and just check it out. It's just the type of place that I recommend going in any case, but at Christmas time, they do it up really well. There's a few little independent shops that sell great Christmas trinkets and crafts. You have the Brigus Mercantile, I believe is what it's called, the market that's there, and to my understanding, it runs throughout the year. There's different crafts and artisan products that are available there. But at Christmas time, they really sort of theme the market for Christmas, and they do a great job. Now, if you start with Brigus for this trip, you can take care of that in the daytime, in the afternoon, when the sun's still kind of high in the sky. Well, at this time of year, it's not really high in the sky, but when you have daylight hours, it's a good first destination for you because there's a lot of daytime things that you can do in Brigus. As the sun starts getting lower, and at this time of the year, that's not very late, you should head up to Port de Grave for the boat lighting. Now that starts I believe in the first week of December. I believe it's the 8th, I'm not sure the exact date. It hasn't started yet, so I'm trying to get ahead of the trend and let you know that this is coming. But if you haven't experienced the boat lighting in Port de Grave, definitely try to get yourself out there to see it. If you're in the St. John's area, it's not a far drive. It's not super far to get to. It's really, a really easy thing to do. Of course, because it is an event that you need the sun to be down, if you're driving from anywhere like St. John's or whichever direction you're coming from, just make sure you're driving safe going back because you will be driving in the dark. There will likely be some highway driving if you're not actually from the area, so just keep that in mind, but it's still worth the effort to get out and experience this boat lighting in this amazing location. They do a really good job. They've been doing it for years now, and it is starting very soon. I believe it's December 8th. I will check that before I put the video up and put the actual launch date because they do a big event for the first night of the boat lighting. They have music and different things happening. It does continue on through the month of December, leading up to Christmas, and it's definitely like a multi-week event. But the first night is definitely a big deal. So I will make sure I get the date right, and I'll put that in the video right here. And finally, if you're in that area, the third place that I wanted to mention is the Holy Cross Park in Holyrood. If you're already in that area and you're heading back to St. John's specifically, or CBS or Mount Pearl or wherever, and if you're passing through Holyrood, why not just stop for one more wintry, Christmassy event? Now, I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I got a very, very warm place in my heart for the Bowring Park lights. It's kind of the same thing as lights in the trees, and you walk through well-lit paths, and they have some like sort of light tunnels that you walk through. It's not going to completely change your world to experience, but they do put a lot of effort into making the Holy Cross Park in Holyrood a nice little Christmas getaway for you. So if you're already on the way through to Brigus and to Port de Grave, and you're passing through Holyrood on the way back to Mount Pearl, St. John's, wherever, just take a stop to check out the lights at the Holy Cross Park in Holyrood. Grab yourself a cup of hot chocolate or coffee or whatever else they have at the little canteen, and just get yourself into the Christmas mood. Like the Port de Grave lights, I believe the Holy Cross Park, weather dependent of course, I believe it's starting in the first week of December. The date, again, I'll put it right here when I find the actual date before I put the video out, but that's coming very soon, and definitely something to enjoy if you're in that area already.